This video was recorded in front of a live virtual audience.
Hi everybody, Dacob here. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be discussing an interesting video that I watched from Sophie Shohet. Hello, darling. Oh, hello, sweetie darling. How you doing, sweetie? So Sophie made a video called My Biggest Fails. Gross bags I've bought, wanted, and 4 steps to avoiding my mistakes. I'm going to post a link to Sophie's video in the description box underneath this video. Be sure to go watch Sophie's video and to subscribe to Sophie Shohet's YouTube channel. Thank you, Sophie. Let's get to your points. So Sophie says when she was still working and couldn't afford certain bags, with the first money that she earned, when she finally could afford a bag, she was too shy to go to Chanel, because back then Chanel didn't have on their website the prices listed for their bags. She was too shy to go into Chanel and ask the price for, let's say, a Timeless Classic double flap medium or jumbo, and she ended up buying a Louis Vuitton bag because the prices were accessible easy on the website and stuff like that. So she realized only later on that the Chanel bag back then would have been only 200 or 300 pounds more expensive than the Louis bag being some sort of seasonal bag that she kind of fell out of love with time. So she analyzed that situation, and she made this 4-step program, formula, the formula of 4, as she calls it. The formula 4 has 4 steps. So I'm going to go through these steps with you guys and see, I'm going to try it out. Okay, I'm going to try out Sophie's formula, and I'm going to try to see if it works. For me, for us, whatever. Let me move to the side. Hold on, you guys. Okay, so let me cue in. Okay, this is a formula 4. We got the brand, shape, color, and size. So for the brand, Sophie speaks about, and this is something interesting that we see a lot of YouTubers that deal with luxury saying lately, and that is, the holy grail bag. Now, we've seen this also in other videos where people say brand is important. If you want to buy a long-term bag, a bag that you're going to be in love with long-term, not just a seasonal love, go with the heavy hitters. You guessed it. Hermès, Birkin and Kelly, what a surprise. Chanel, Timeless Classic, double flap, small, medium, jumbo. Maxi she didn't mention, but Maxi is also in there. What a surprise. We have Dior, the Lady Dior. She loves her Lady Diors. So the classics that, you know. And then Sophie says the brand should be the brand that has bags that have been around for at least 5 to 10 years or more. If a bag is around more than 10 years, then it becomes a classic in her opinion. And after a brand has a bag design or style that's in production for 5 years or more, it's already kind of safe to buy. I disagree on that point, because the boy bag, the Gabrielle 2017, it hasn't been 5 years yet. But the boy bag has been around since the early 2000s. And boy, is it a no for me. So, and I would not call it a classic bag at all. A boy bag is on its way out, as it should be, because it's a very 2YK moment. It's a very time-specific bag. It did not age gracefully. I'm sorry, boy. But so I don't agree that a bag that is over 10 years old is deemed a classic. Sometimes a brand just doesn't have anything better to keep in rotation, which also speaks a lot about the brand, doesn't it? So they keep certain bags in rotation because they got nothing better to keep in rotation. Not that Chanel didn't try, but, you know, a lot of times the bags that they released, they just did not gain traction or did not warrant enough money earning as Chanel wanted, so they discontinued. Many bags were discontinued too quickly. I prefer the girl bag to the boy bag. Now, you remember the girl bag? The sweater knit, the jacket type of knit bag made out of tweed or leather, and you tie the sleeves together, and that becomes the strap or the shoulder strap of the bag. So that one was a flop for Chanel after 2 seasons or 3 seasons. They kind of phased it out, and now nobody talks about it as if it never existed. I still regret to this day not having bought one of those. Another example is the Millennium bag, or the 2005 bag that came out in 1998/1999, was in rotation for a couple of seasons, also phased out. I do have one of those, love them to bits. They are a historic piece. But yeah, what are you gonna do? I mean, luxury has to move away from just Hermès, Chanel, Dior, Louis Vuitton. Like, it has to. I'm so tired of it. It can't just be that. But anyway, you got to pick your brand. You got to pick the brand that you believe you're going to stick to for a long time. And I agree with you, Sophie. You got to pick the right brand. But the right brand doesn't have to be Hermès, Chanel, Dior, Louis Vuitton. There are other brands that are amazing. I always mention this. Vivienne Westwood is a great one. It doesn't always have to be Gucci either. It doesn't have to be Givenchy. It doesn't have to be Yves Saint Laurent, you know, there's other stuff out there as well. But we're living in these times where these brands have a particular fame to their name. But times are going to change again. This is not going to last forever. It's just the times we're living in. So the second point that Sophie mentions is shape. Now let me get to the shape. So Sophie points out 5 shape sizes, right? We have the flap, trapeze, camera, bucket, and bowling. So she says, stick to these shapes. These are long-term bags. If you want a bag long-term that preserves its style or elegance, or that preserves its... It's not going to age in your eyes. You're not going to get tired of it. Helping you not get tired of a bag is choosing a bag that has one of these 5 shapes. If we don't consider backpacks as bags, then yeah, otherwise I would add a backpack, classic backpack shape, could also be a luxury backpack, but backpack I would add to also the timeless list. But if we're not considering backpacks as bags, but rather as travel, I don't know. I gotta say, I kind of agree with Sophie here. The trapeze bag, maybe I would take it out. I would stick to the shape of 4. Definitely the flap, the camera, the bucket, and the bowling. And under the bowling bags, I would also list, they're not really bowling shape, but like weekend bags, you know, the Speedy, the Keepalls. They're kind of, for me, within the bowling category. So if we're going to put a Speedy and a Keepall in the bowling category, which they're obviously not, but close enough, then I would say, yeah, keep the bowling there. Bucket, camera, and flap. Trapeze. Because the bowling has a little bit the shape of the trapeze as well. So the trapeze would fall under kind of like evening bags, minaudières, little clutches to wear in the evening, you know. Now, of course, you know, I love my clutches, but the flap, a clutch bag also has a flap. If you buy a clutch with a flap, you know, my 255 and the Timeless Classic clutches, they all both have flaps. So my clutches fall underneath flaps. Flaps can have handles, chains, or no handles or no chains. So I agree with everything minus the trapeze, perhaps. The trapeze, you can get tired of a trapeze shape, but these other ones here, you don't really get tired. And the bucket bag always has revivals. It's been huge in the 80s. It's been also huge at the turn of the last century. And right now, bucket bags are not really that big. Chanel tried it with the Gabrielle when they brought out the Gabrielle series, not just the Gabrielle bag. They also brought out the Gabrielle backpack and the Gabrielle kind of bucket backpack. It had a little bit of a revival. Now, of course, Louis still has their bucket bags. They're famous for having been made to transport champagne originally, right? So now they're made in a lot of different sizes. So the bucket bag, yeah, it's a forever bag for sure. So this is the second point that we have, right? First we had brand, and then we have shape. Now the third point being color. And so, Sophie, I agree with you here. I agree with you because Sophie says, you know, you guys, it's literally very simple. Don't go for very light colors if you want that one bag to have for a long time. light colors, you're going to get color transfer. Denim always transfer colors. Any color you have, you wear, your bag is going to rub off of you all the time. Black is the way to go. If you're going to have that one bag, black goes with everything. Black is always the best. I wholeheartedly agree. Here I have an example of one of the loves of my life. You know, my personal holy grail, the 255. This one is in a size, classic size. Black. Of course, if your bag has hardware, you could always kind of play with that and you add a little bit of color. That's something Sophie didn't mention that I'm just adding to her commentary. You can, it's a black bag. It goes with everything. Sure, you can choose it with ruthenium hardware, with gold hardware. This is aged gold. Sometimes they do make them with glossy champagne gold as well. But you trick the system. You get a black bag, but it's the hardware that adds a little bit of pop of color. But it's not over the top color that makes you kind of bored of the bag after some time. So this is a forever bag. You'll never get tired of a 255. And there's no logos. Another thing I want to mention within the, I guess you could also say maybe it should be added to the brand section of this video, point 1, but also color the logos. Now, logo is also a color because logos are visible, so they add color, but they also define the brand. So what I want to say, if we rewind it to point 1, this is point 3. Point 1 of the formula was brand. I would also choose brands that also offer, if you wanted, that also offer bags that don't show off the logo. Very important. And logo falls under color for me. I love when a brand does not show off the logo. If you know that this is a Chanel, you know. It doesn't say Chanel on it. Yeah, it does down here, but the turn lock covered up half of the text. You don't really see that it says really tiny, tiny, tiny Chanel written down there. So the double C is already much. This is the way to go. Because if you, let's say, are not really in love with the brand anymore and you feel it's tacky to show off a logo because times will change. There are times in fashion history where showing off a logo is considered hip. And then there are those times where it's considered super cringe. This way, you never have to worry. You never have to worry because there is no logo. Only you know what, and who knows, knows. If you know, you know. So if you go through phases in history where showing off logos is considered really in bad taste, you're good to go. Choose a brand where you can also pick out a bag that doesn't show off the logo. So the logo I deem as a color. So I say, yes, Sophie, you're right. Black is always the way to go if you're going to have that one bag that you don't want to get tired of. The bag for the long haul. Choose black. I wholeheartedly agree with you, Sophie, but I would also like to add the aspect of logo less is more when it comes to a bag forever. Now moving to the 4th point, we have size. And under the size category, what did I write down here? Sophie said something about the size. We think less about how size is dictated by fashion, Sophie says, buy something that will realistically work for you. If you want to stuff a lot in the bag, buy a big bag. Otherwise, buy a small bag. Different approach for me personally. Now I say, because what Sophie mentioned in her video is, if you're a person who has a tendency to take a lot with you, then don't follow trends on Instagram or what influencers show you as the size of the bag that's in at the moment. Stick to what your needs are, right? If you like to carry a lot with you in your bag, buy a big bag. If you're the type of person who doesn't need anything more than a credit card and maybe some tissues, then buy a small bag. I disagree. Why? I agree on the fact, don't let influencers influence you on buying a shape of a bag that doesn't suit you. But I have to add 2 points so that Sophie didn't touch base on. One, I'm the type of person, and I think a lot of you, because by the way, you guys, thumb up this video if you're liking it thus far. The algorithm would love that. so would I. And also this video is being filmed live in front of a virtual audience. So thank you to all my co-viewers and watchers who are watching live. I live stream every Saturday. So everybody's in the chats right now conversing and writing in their comments. But you guys, I know a lot of you in the live chats concur with me, or let me know if you do. I'm the type of person, if I have a big bag, I'm going to fill it. If I have a small bag, I'm going to fill it. I adapt. I will never leave a bag semi-empty. Even if you give me a huge bag, like that big, I'm still going to stuff it. If you give me a tiny bag, I'm also going to stuff it, but it's going to be enough for me. I adapt. No matter what bag I have, I adapt to it. So that's why I'm saying, for me, yeah, Kate EF says, yeah, same, me too. I'm the type of person, I stuff a bag no matter what the size it is. So that's why I'm not the type of person who's going to be like, oh, I'm only about the big bags because I always stuff my bags. No, I live with what I have. If I have a tiny bag, I'm only going to, all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, I don't need anything. I just need a couple of things, a couple of essentials. But if I have a big bag, then I start thinking, you know what? I might need this later on. Let me put this in the bag as well. Ooh, I should take 2 perfumes with me on the go because you never know. I have enough space now. The bag is big enough. Let me stuff it to the brim. Yeah, BB says filling it all the way up. DLB says 100%. I always fill any size bag, LOL. And this is a missed opportunity that I think Sophie should have mentioned. Why? What she said was, you know, if you stuff a bag a lot, get a big bag. If you stuff it little, get a little bag. That doesn't count for me. What does count for me, now I agree with Sophie on the formula of 4, meaning size being important, but not for the stuffing issue. No, I'm going to tell you why. For me, it's proportions. It's about how proportions fit. Your body type, how you are built, your height, how tall, small, wide, skinny, chubby, chunky, whatever you are, the beauty of your body, no matter how beautifully your body is done, and every shape is beautiful, every body has different proportions. So I always say this, size matters, no pun intended. How do we deal with it? We go to the boutique, and I said this in other videos of mine, don't be afraid to enter a boutique. Maybe you don't want to buy the bag that day. Be honest. Sales associates will appreciate. You say, hey, I'm not purchasing a bag today, but I'm here because I would really like to understand your sizings before I decide which bag I want. So I'm here today in your boutique because I would like to try out the 4 different sizes of the classic bag you have so that I can see and start understanding in front of a mirror, wear each one of them separately, and then I can start understanding which one suits me best. No sales associate will ever dare reply to your request if your request is formulated elegantly, calmly, and politely like that. None of them would ever dare tell you, sorry, we don't have the time. They will assist you. Because what you're bringing to the table is a very reasonable point. You're saying, I need to try these bags first to see which one suits me best in front of a mirror. So you see your full body, how big the bag, how deep it hangs or not. So size is super important, but not for the reasons Sophie mentioned. Now, maybe for her it is, but not for me. For me, what is important is the proportions of my body to the bag. And that's how you should choose the right size of bag for you, by trying them out and seeing which one looks the best with your body, on your body. It has to harmonize. It has to harmonize. So I gotta say, Sophie, you did great in my honest opinion, because the 4 steps that you chose, I agree with you. Brand, shape, color, and size. We might not agree fully in the explanation of each point, like how we would go about dealing with each point. But I really think this was a great video, Sophie. Thank you so much for making the video. Oh, right. And then Sophie also at one point, she brings to the table, what are the perfect bags to start your collection and which to avoid? And of course, she says the best is Hermès, Chanel, classic flap. Pick the size that is right for you, I add. Lady Dior medium, she likes very much. She also, when she went into that section, she actually also said, pick the size that suits you. But she didn't go into the explanation of proportions of body. Then she said she's rediscovering the Fendi Baguette, the Givenchy Antigona. The Antigona is, by the way, celebrating its 10th birthday soon. She also says to avoid trend bags. Sophie, I wholeheartedly agree with you 1,000%. Avoid social media trends. Avoid the trendy bags that are super good for Instagram, for posing, showing it off, being like, hey, I got the latest, trendiest color shade bag from this or that brand, and then they're gone after a month. Avoid those like the plague, unless you already have enough classic bags that you love so much and you just have enough budget to splurge on something whimsical you're going to wear for 1 month. I do not recommend that because you should not be consuming something you don't love. It's a waste of material. We're damaging this planet. There's overconsumption. You should never be thinking in terms of, oh, let me buy a new bag so I can make a new unboxing video. Let me buy a new bag so I could show it off on Instagram. That's kind of shows lack of character rather than strength of character. Try to avoid that. Try buying the few bags you really, really love, because you love them, not because some Oompa Loompa on Instagram told you you should love it. Have some respect for yourself. Buy what you feel suits you. Forget about the Ferragnis. Forget about all the blah blah blahmies and the mama mamis and the pupapamis. You do you, boo, because nobody does you better than you. And I'm a sucker for the 255, okay? So it's not like a phase for me. It's not like, oh, did you see Dacob just posted on his Instagram profile the 255? It's just a phase. No, I've been posting the 255 since the first time I got one, which was many, many years. When was it? Like 5 years ago. And I never stopped. And I never will. This is the love of my life. The 255 is my personal holy grail. There's no bag better than this one. And I even keep its fold. I love the fact that it's folded. It stays so close to the body that you can hug it. But that's besides the point. What I want to say is there's a difference between an influencer online showcasing one bag that they're going to wear once or twice for 2 photos and then never again, and you fall for that and you buy one too, and then you feel out of place and completely disoriented just a couple of weeks after you've purchased it because you feel, oh no, nobody online is wearing it anymore, so I guess I don't like it anymore either. Don't do that to yourself. Buy something that you know you love because you love it, not because some Oompa Loompa showed you should love it. So, at this point, Sophie does say, avoid trend bags, purchase bags that have been around over 5 years. And again, there I explained to you, for me, that doesn't really count. I mean, the boy bag. And then she says, everything over 10 years old is considered a classic. For me, a boy bag is a losing game. If you love the boy bag because you love it, more power to you. Buy the boy bag. Buy it in all colorways if you love them. But the boy bag is never going to be the 255. Coco designed this one. Coco did not design the boy bag. So if you really want to put it that way, the boy bag is not a Chanel bag. The boy bag is a bag on which they plastered a Chanel logo onto, but Coco never designed it. She never approved it. So it's not really a Chanel. It's just a bag with a Chanel logo on it. This is Coco Chanel. Approved. You see what I mean? It's not just about the 10 years that a bag is in existence. It's about the heritage, history, brand. Did the actual original designer who originated and generated and founded the brand, did they design the piece? Or has the piece been designed after their life and it's just been plastered a logo on top? That's something we also have to consider when purchasing these bags. So I guess under point 1, the brand, under Sophie's point 1, I would like to add brand, yes. The longer the brand has been around, the more credibility and the more classic kind of quality we attribute to the brand. Yes, I agree with that. But I would add addendum to point 1, make sure that the bag you're getting from that said historic brand has actually been designed by the original designer of that brand. You see what I mean? So 255 has been designed by Coco. So yes, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. The Speedy. Now, the Speedy came in the Vuitton family. The Vuitton family designed the Alma for Coco Chanel. So that's also really an original design. Same applies to the Speedy. You remember Audrey Hepburn wearing her 25 Speedy designed for her. That's the heart of Louis Vuitton. That's where you go to. For Dior, a bit more difficult. Christian Dior was really about couture, and he was alive and active for his own brand a very short period of time. So it's not like we have these memorable, iconic bags that came out of his time. But I'm sure there are. If you do some real deep digging, you're going to find styles that he implemented and designed. But chances are, with modern day Dior and its direction, you're not going to find one of those single bags still in production today. They're probably all going to, I mean, maybe in the haute couture. Maybe in the haute couture they're implemented, but that's really hard to get those. And they're going to cost a lot. If the bag is under haute couture, it's handmade. You're going to have to spend tens of twenties of thousands of dollars for them. So that's kind of a little bit out of the reach for many people. But you see what I mean? Underneath the brand falls also the most historic ones, the closest, if not possible, but if possible, the designs made by the founding designers of said brands. We're done. So guys, what do you think? Agree, disagree? Let me know in the chats. And also y'all's thumb up the video and let me know in the comment section down below what your thoughts are. All right. Cece says, I don't agree with Sophie about buying a bag design that's been selling for years. Again, if it does fit me, my style, I can see that I will be using it for years. I'll buy it. Yeah. I agree. It's about what your flavor is, what your preference is, how you feel about the bag, you know, what it means to you. Kimberly says, I adore the Alma PM. KTF says, Dior discontinued all the good bags. You see, that's also a bad sign when a brand is not consistent, you know. Lizzie S says, Dacob, video idea, best iconic bags from each brand you think are the best. Oh, that's not a bad idea. But it would be the ones designed by the designers themselves. It's a no-brainer for me, honestly, because that's what they wanted originally. That is their own creative genius. Everything that comes later, you guys, is somebody else's idea with the logo plastered on top of it. It's not authentic. Even though the brand says it's authentic. Yeah, but it's not authentic because the original designer didn't do it. C. Lala says, what you're saying now is how I feel about Louis Vuitton moving away from canvas. That's the very foundation of their company. It's sad. I totally agree with you. But I don't think they're moving away from canvas. I don't know. There's a little bit of trickery going on there. Maybe to up the prices of the canvas, probably. KDF says, I've always only purchased the 255s. I have a few classic flaps, but don't love them as much. KDF to 255, it's just so, you can't, it doesn't, how can it get any better than this? Like, I really don't know what to tell you guys. It's just so beautiful. Penelope says, when the flaps of a bag is as big as it is on the boy bag, it feels so dramatic and theatrical just to pull out your wallet or put something away. Yeah, it's very much like the maxi double flap. It also has a very long, not that long, but also a very long flap. DLB says, the boy chain is so bad getting caught in your hair. Not a good vibe. Yeah, it's difficult with the boy bag. Very difficult. The little tiny pebbly button things, they get caught in your hair all the time. Lizzie S says, I don't like that Dior always discontinued their it bags. Yeah, and then they bring them back again when they're in the mood. It's a mess. May says, not to mention the chain strap on the boy is so annoying. Yeah, it is. Yes but no says, I agree the zipper is a plus for security. However, it would change the design to attempt and evolve a design independent of the logo, on which I think it depends too highly. This is to a comment, responding to a comment by Miami81, which said, and Miami81 said, I'm excited to try on the 255 in store when I get the chance. Then Lizzie says, I love the 255, but I also love the boy too. My CC88 says, I felt like that influencers chatting about the CC Houndstooth rectangular mini, the pricing was way inflated by resellers. No, thank you. And then yes but no said, I agree. No, wait, why are we the zipper is a plus for security. DLB says, love your passion for 255. We all have our holy grail, and it's nice to not be afraid to carry any bag brand we love. Right. Totally. Wear whatever you love and care for the most. But just to point out, Sophie made this video saying, like, this is a video dedicated to if you have the need to get a bag long term, not short term, then these are the criteria kind of points to follow. And I agree with Sophie. I really do. Meredith Yates says, oh, the 255 should have a fold. I'll stop being cranky about my rose gold mini. I was so angry about the fold along the bottom. Wait, Meredith, your rose gold mini, the 255 mini? No, yeah, they should have a fold. It's an extra, it takes them more time to actually create this fold as perfect as it is. They don't need to. They could just create the side panel, which is the lower panel for the classic size. For the large/jumbo size, there's a cut here, so there's 2 leather panels attached together. But they could just leave it flat. This is an extra added bonus that only this bag has this envelope moment, which I live for. It's like in between a clutch and a bag. I know a lot of people just flatten this out the second they buy the bag. Oh no, I keep my fold. I think this is the most elegant feature. No other bag in the world has this feature. It's just so sublime, really. Driti Seth says, I recently saw a 255 up close and fell in love. I completely understand where you're coming from now. Thank you. Jolene Carney says, thank you, Dacob, for reminding us all that the future of our planet is most important. Oh, yes. Completely. DLB says, so true. The Instagram bags never work usually in real life. Have to be practical and use it. I learned now to only buy what I love. And if others don't, it doesn't matter. I love how you explained this, Dacob. Thank you so much, DLB. You buy what you love, you know? And you're going to be so happy with the bag if you really bought it for you, for the reasons that are close to your heart, than if you buy it for the reasons Instagram told you to buy it for. And a lot of these brands that churn out the seasonal bags, a lot of them are also from marketing and design point, already designed to look photogenic on photos because they're designed to cater to Instagram. And as you cleverly pointed out, a lot of them don't look even that good in real life because they're made to be just photogenic. It's very, very tricky. You got to be very careful, you guys. KDF says, what do you all think of the Matthew Williams Antigone? Does it have a special color? I don't know. But the classic Antigone in black, it's not a bag I would buy, honestly. It's a bit too heavy for me. I don't like it. I'm unsubscribing from YouTubers who do unboxings more than they provide quality and educational content, says May. Because we're bored of it. You know, we've had a time, we had our moment in the sun when we were all, it was all new for all of us. Let's oh wow, bag unboxings and another bag and another bag. And it was fresh for a moment. But then at a certain point, it's like, oh, another bag unbox. Oh, and another one. Oh, and another one. Oh, and the same one unboxed by another person. It is what it is, you guys, and we got to evolve from it. There's a lot more to talk about when it comes to luxury and beauty and fashion and style. There's the heritage, there's the history. We could learn so much, about proportions. There's so much to talk about and to have fun and enjoy, really. Anyway, that's that. So that's why we are pioneering here in the Fashion Bunker. We are opening up new chapters. We are pioneering new storylines, new ways of analyzing a luxury. Most of these, also luxury YouTubers whose videos I analyze. I don't analyze their lives. I don't care about their lives. I don't care about the gossip and the drama in their lives. I analyze what they say, black on white, in their videos. And this gets misunderstood oftentimes by my viewers, and they think, oh, you're throwing shade at people. No. It's just that none of you are really used to this type of content. You think it's impossible to create this sort of content. No, this is pioneering something new. These are people who have been doing unboxings and talking about luxury for many years. They've established themselves in this weird realm of luxury stuff that we are consuming today as exponential points within the luxury community. So they are brands in their own right. So it's good that we analyze their content. Why shouldn't we? This is the next step in luxury. This is the next step, you know, because they themselves are luxury products talking about luxury. So it's a new chapter in the world of luxury. So come with me on this new journey. No purchase history required. Yes, but no says, I think the Lady Dior needs an overhaul. The internal flap is progress, but more is required to make it a true classic. If you love it, you love it. I personally prefer the flap inside the Lady Dior than I did the zipper, to be honest with you. Miami 81 says, I own 0 trendy bags because bags are so expensive. KDF says the FOMO. You got to learn to fight the FOMO. That's also true. May says, yes, the small Lady Dior is my favorite. I like the large because it fits my body, but the one that I actually want to get, they don't make that one in large. So no Lady Dior for me, for now. Stephanie says, I actually like the Lady Dior, but I would prefer that in the small size, I think. I mean, the micro is funny too, but it's just so overpriced. Yes, but no, says sales associates, in my experience, are well-mannered and would never make a potential customer feel uncomfortable. It's the professional attitude. Yeah, I agree with you. May says, as long as it holds my phone, wallet, and small Louis Vuitton pouch, I'm good to go. Yeah, about the size of the bags. Cece says, I'm with you, Dacob, about the size. Even if I really want a certain size, but if I won't be able to use it because it doesn't look good on me, which is important to me, I won't waste investing. It's not an investment. You won't waste your time spending money on it. Tina Yap says, my bags have to be functional for the occasions at the end of the day. Yeah, that's true too. DLB says, proportions are so key. Trying on bags over the years helped me so much to find what works for me. And agree about telling the sales associate and not being scared. Makes for better choices when you start out. Exactly. And if you're so honest with your sales associate from the get-go and you're not acting like, oh, I'm here to buy half the house, and then like you leave with nothing. Be honest. Say, hey, I'm not here today to buy anything. I just want to learn which shape fits me the most. Go back into myself, reflect about it, and then I'll purchase it in a week or two when I'm ready. They're going to take that honesty and they're going to help you out, because that is really cool to be that honest. Miami 81 says, Dacob is so right. I tried on the GM bags and they look dumb on me because they're gigantic. The Grand Model. So says, I stop filling the bag once it becomes uncomfortably heavy to carry all day. I'm like that too. I'm terrible that way. Maru Yanisby says, I used to be able to fill all my essentials in a Chanel Mini. Now that I need reading glasses, the best size for me is the reissue 225. And I love my reissue clutch. I'm telling you, the clutches are the way to go. And no chain to weigh you down. You put the clutch under here. You have both hands you can use. You just got to be careful not to drop it. Lizzie S says, medium bags are considered big nowadays. Yeah, because there's this micro frenzy, but the micro frenzy is going to go away. And then what are we going to do? May says, the micro bags are very trendy. Ah, there you go, May. More so an accessory than a functional bag. Completely. They're like necklaces. That's why I was so happy when Chanel played on that game and for Spring Summer 21 made the little metal necklace bag. You know, the timeless classic as a necklace. I was like, okay, this is genius. I need to get this as a reference point. This is when a brand is being whimsical and making fun of itself. And I was like, oh, I didn't know Chanel had it in it. In itself still to be comedic about itself, to not take itself too seriously. So that bag to me is a must-have. The little necklace bag hanging on an intertwined chain with leather, to die for. KDF says, I love classic camera bags in a good leather. Me too. I have that one camera, again, the 255 version of the camera bag, also to die for. And the price is also interesting. If you take those type of bags, they don't go up in price as much as the 255 or timeless classic double flaps. The camera bag I bought, the 255 camera bag, didn't go up in price in 2 years, and I got mine at the same price it had before because it just didn't go up in price because, it's not so much sold. Stephanie says, I'm not a fan of the nano size bags. Yeah, they're a novelty. They're a novelty. Like, what can you even put in there? Wear it as a necklace. It's an accessory. Lizzie S says, I love big bags. I think big bags are coming back. People are tired of the micros. So you're going to see this clutch renaissance, and after that, we're going to go back into the bigger bags. I love logo items and no logo items, says Tina. Depends on the logo as well. Susie Q says, bags don't need to scream their names. Yeah. Cult says, could the Kelly be a trapeze? Yeah, the Kelly, also the Birkin is a trapeze, but because they both have flaps, Kelly has a flap, the Birkin has a weird concocted flap, but because they both have flaps, they fall under the flap category, the category of flaps. So yes, they have a trapezoid-ish shape. Geometrically speaking, yes, those are trapezoids, but they're flaps. So they fall under the category of flaps. DLB says, I love a bucket bag and a tote. She missed that, but also a crossbody messenger style too. Well, if the messenger bag has a flap, I think that falls under, because this can also be deemed a messenger bag because it was from jockeys / post office delivery boys as well. So it is kind of a messenger in a smaller size, but it has a flap. So yes, but no says, maybe there's an artificial intelligence algorithm that can produce the perfect luxury bag. Oh, if we filter through all the information, all our needs, the needs of society today, and then the computer generates a result, that would be amazing. I would love to see the result of that. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've liked this video. Let me cue in the end because it's going way too long. Join, become a member today. Push the join button next to the subscription button. Gain access to extra perks. You can also join me on Patreon, superdacob all spelled together, to gain access to extra perks. Thumb up this video, subscribe to my channel, and become, as a Patreon or member or super chatter, co-producer of the Fashion Bunker. Your name gets listed in the end credits at the end of every video. Follow me on my Chanel Shenanigans Instagram profile called Coco Chanel is in my house, dedicated to my Chanel collection. Or follow me on my other Instagram profile called Coco Chanel Privé, all spelled together, dedicated to the life of Coco Chanel. And if you want to follow just a crazy me, I am on Super Dacob, all spelled together, on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Let me get to some more of your comments. Love Sophie's channel. She seems super sweet, says Orianti Elise. Stephanie says, I think she tries to give her videos more thought, which I like. Good. That is good, because she has more responsibility now as well, with a huge following. I know some people don't like to hear this, but with a huge following comes also more responsibility, because you are a public figure. So you have to think things out more carefully. It's not just about the ego. And if it is, you're doing a wrong job. It's also about delivering something for the community that people can actually take away from it and learn. It's not just about being flamboyant, being like, hey, look at me, look at me, look at me, 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 me. A lot of people mistake social media for sick living out of their own egos, but that's when social media is used wrong. When social media is used right is when there is an educational moment there, where the whole community gets together, has an exchange of information, and learns from one another. That's the true potential of social media. That's what it should be. So more thought should go into the videos, especially with such a big following. Miami81 says, Sophie is the reason I got talked out of a boy Chanel bag and will go for a 255 or a classic. Dixie Smitherman, I agree with Sophie. VB says, I dislike the boy bag. Penelope says, I wonder if Sophie watches these videos. I don't know. She has never commented or contacted. Please don't forget to hit the like button. Oh, thank you, May. Jesus says, Chanel in the house. Oh, yes. Paris Amaro says, oh, another gem. Sophie is back in the bunker, says May. Yes. Yes, she is. Candy Fluff says, all first dates would be great if you gave each other resumes listing in the following ways. I am a jerk and see if you are compatible, LOL. That's the same way you should buy a bag too. Write a letter to your favorite bag. See if the bag responds. You say to the bag, dear bag, I need this and this and this and this and this point from you. Can you deliver? and then see what the bag answers. How does the bag answer? The bag obviously can't read or write. The bag answers by you putting the bag on, trying it on, wearing it around, and see what the bag says to you through the way it looks on you in a mirror. Always in a mirror, baby. Always look in the mirror, baby. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, never forget to never give up on love. Love you all. See you soon. Take care. Bye. Mwah.